Welcome to Same Spit, Different Face TV. Well, my opinions is facts, and if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast. And it's free. So don't forget to spit on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification. If you clicked on this video to hear about Chris Brown's arrest, I need you to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And to my Spit Squad, post squad in the comments. Chris Brown has been taken into custody at a hotel in Manchester, England, early Thursday morning on suspicions of grievous bodily harm, according to law enforcement sources. This arrest stems from an incident 2 years ago where Chris is being accused of allegedly smashing a tequila bottle over a music producer head at a nightclub. Now, when you look at this situation, we've had the situation where Chris Brown was in a club with Drake, and it's alleged that they were throwing bottles back and forth at each other. And since then, Chris Brown and Drake have squashed their beef and they back friends. I'm not sure if this happened in LA or in Cali, but they saying that he smashed a bottle across a music producer's head. Now, when you're as famous as Chris Brown and you getting as much money as Chris Brown, when something happened like this and somebody reach out to you, you pay them off, you make them sign an NDA, and it goes away. But we know how Chris Brown personality is. I'm not paying you nothing. You don't run me. Chris Brown, he want to be, I don't want to say he want to be tough like he not tough, but as an R&B singer, he tries to portray himself more as a street nigga than he do an R&B guy. So that gets him in a lot of trouble. And now he's probably being locked up for this situation. But this guy probably only wants him locked up so he can get him stuck in England. And the problem with this is, I was listening to somebody who was trying to file a lawsuit against like a guy named Wesley Huff, and he lives in Canada. And they said it is so hard to file a lawsuit against somebody in another country. They say it's damn near impossible. The only way you can probably do it or get that person back is if that person is accused of committing murder or something like that. But for a smash over the head or any type of other allegations, put it like that, it's hard to get them back. But if you file criminal charges and you know that that person is over there and you get that person arrested, now that person has to go through the process. So while you're going through the process, you can have your lawyer reach out to this person, lawyers while they in jail, and say, hey, I'm willing to drop these charges, but I need to be paid 500,000, whatever it may be. They may ask you, what is your freedom worth to you? And this situation will go away. Now, the other thing I will say, Chris Brown has been on a redemption tour. He ended up winning an award last year. I can't remember if it was a Grammy or not, but he ended up winning an award. And we know that people weren't giving him any awards. They were basically holding that Rihanna situation over his head for anything he tried to do in the mainstream to move his career forward. And he was just getting his reputation back. And for him to have this misstep of something that happened 2 years ago come back up, paint him as being somebody violent, paint him as somebody angry, and then it's going to always go back to the initial story of he's in trouble again. And somewhere in these articles, they're going to mention the disgraced singer fell from grace after he did XYZ to this person. So if I'm the team around Chris Brown, I got to ask him, hey, bro, when do you start rebranding yourself? When do you stop doing all of this on blood? When do you stop fighting everywhere? When do you stop telling people you want to catch the fade? Chris Brown has to be almost 40. I'm going to look up his age right now. But no matter how old he is, I believe he's too old for this. He's 36 right now. Chris Brown is too old for the behavior that he have. He's an R&B star. He's been rich. He joined allegedly joined the Blood Gang after he was rich, what made no sense, but to him it probably made sense because he lives in LA and he wants that extra piece of protection while he's out there. He maybe even got extorted into the situation, allegedly. And I'm just saying, I don't know 100% how he ended up in this situation, but I'm just saying, after you rich to get put on, and maybe he was just moved out there, he started hanging with a couple of guys, and then the guy said, yo, you around so much, won't you get put down? Whatever that may be, I feel like now it's time for him to get into that phase of his life, that same phase of life that Snoop Dogg is in, where he's mature, he's loved everywhere, he's known everywhere. You see him with Martha Stewart, you see him at the US Open, you see him overseas at the Olympics. Chris Brown is that type of talent. He's the same type of talent that Snoop Dogg is, but mentally he's so immature that he hasn't been able to move past the fake street crap that he got in his mind. And I call it fake street crap because even though the scenarios and situations are real, he's putting himself into those situations. He don't have to be in those situations. It's like going into a escape room. You really have to escape from the room, but you put yourself into that situation. You don't have to be in that escape room. And that's how I feel about Chris Brown. He continuously put himself in these situations he don't have to be in because he's rich, he's famous, he has the resources to cultivate the people and the things that are around him. If you're new to the channel and want more celebrity and hip hop content, hit the subscribe button. And if you hit the subscribe button, you are part of the Spit Squad. So hit the like button and post squad in the comments. And for any Chris Brown videos you may have missed, go to the Chris Brown or the Spit Squad update videos in the end screen. Check out my original Chicago hood movie in the end screen, No Time to Play Fair. If you into sneakers, you a sneakerhead, you love seeing the new Jordans, Pumas, whatever it may be, subscribe to Kicking It with Fairplay 2333. If you trying to follow me on my basketball journey, my weightlifting and fitness journey, and also be inspired to get back on your fitness journey, subscribe to Fairplay, Flex, and Fadeaway. Also, any of these pages I just named, you can also find them on TikTok or Instagram.